some of the secret ingredients came from their farm. So you guys are going to want to check that out. They really appreciate them bringing that over here now. So let's get some pictures, and then I got a few goodies here for you. Johnny, how does this work best?
Yeah, you can center up on the screen in the count.
Yeah, so we'll have you right in the middle.
Okay.
Place of honor.
Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So what we wanted you to do is we wanted you to have. So we got some swag for you. To make your job a little easier. So you get a quiz.
This is awesome.
So we should
We're definitely going to use this.
We're definitely going to get you guys.
This is as clean as it's ever going to be.
You know, and look at that. You gotta have your Alaska Brown shirts, right? And then of course, you gotta have your Alaska Brown hat.
Oh,
So
wow.
guys,
All right.
give them a big round of applause. There you go. You can look at that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Great job.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we got a couple of awards. Martha from the Alaska Peanut Cooperative, in conjunction with what we're doing, she's going to give out a couple of awards. But before she does that, I want to give my personal thanks. We had the Dutch ambassador here a couple of weeks ago for the day. And one of the things we did is we went over to one of the farms, and Martha and that team, we talked flowers for about an hour with the Dutch ambassador. And as you guys know, the Dutch are flowers. And so you did a great job. Thanks for the coffee and the goodies. They really liked it and said to say thank you again. So I wanted to give you thanks, and let's go ahead and give a couple of awards.
Yeah, we had a great time with the Dutch ambassadors, the honorary consulate, and the consulate from San Francisco came up as well. And they toured not only peanut farms, but kind of got the buzz going for all facets of agriculture up here, from greenhouses, mariculture, even dredging the port. But the Dutch have amazing knowledge, and they're willing to share it with us. But besides that, we're here to talk about peonies today. That's what I know and love. I have a peony farm in Willow. My family runs Mount McKinley Peonies, and I'm a founder for Alaska Peony Cooperative. And our cooperative supports a bunch of small member farms. We tried to bring some peonies up here, but they didn't make it. FedEx delayed the box, so Glenda borrowed some from in here. I know 2 of those 3 peony farmers, so it warms my heart to see their flowers and hear gracing the stage with us. So I feel super lucky to be here today because it's Agriculture Appreciation Day, and I know that's what you're all here for. Agriculture supports everybody in all different facets of everything, and just like Jed was saying, it takes a lot of knowledge, we wear a lot of hats, and we couldn't do it alone. So today we wanted to thank Dr. Pat Holloway, who worked at the at the University of Alaska Fairbanks for 30 years, retired in 2014, but she can't just let go of her passion, because that's what she has, is passion for the industry. Pat has done a lot of research on blueberries, forage crops, barley, hay, you name it. Pat has probably had her hands in that project because she loves research, and she wants to help us not only find new industries, but improve the ones that are already growing really well up here. So Pat was one of the first people to bring peony knowledge up here. So she was not obviously the first person to plant a peony in Alaskan soil, but she was the first one that said, I wonder if this will really work as a crop that Alaskans can make money on. So she got a grant, she put some in the ground, she brought some people to look at them, and then she set us loose. And she's the first one to say, don't thank me, I'm not the mother of peonies, but we all like to think that she is. She always says, thank the farmers, but we wouldn't
want
be
the
here
peonies in the center of the
without
stage when you
Pat
take
Holloway
pictures?
and the Division of Ag and the soil scientists and all the grants and all the research that everybody does for us and the peony industry as a whole. So we wanted to thank Dr. Pat Holloway for outstanding contributions to the peony industry. And she couldn't be here to accept the award today. She's probably writing a paper up in Fairbanks and doing some more research as she does. So we have someone to accept it on her behalf.
So come on up, Joni. So,
I am Joni Sharpenberg, and I have a peony farm in Fairbanks, where Pat is, and she wasn't able to come. And everything you said, I say ditto to. We appreciate you, Pat, a lot. And I'm happy to take home your appreciation award to Fairbanks.
I want everybody to see we made up a nice. All right, so there you go. All right, so and then just so you know, I want to show what we did. So, we wanted her to be able to show it off, right?
Oh, nice.
So in the back it says Alaska Agriculture Day, Alaska peonies in the front, and a peony on the back, right? So with her name, you will know who Patty is when she's wearing it, right? So this is something they did. So if you want to hold that, we'll get the links and put them do some pictures.
And she's so humble.
Yeah, let's jump right in. That's beautiful.
Yeah, Martha.
Oh, there we go. Oh. All right, okay.
The name might make me.
There you go, right in the back. Thank you so much, Joni.
I'll send you.
Tell her she was missed.
So I like putting in the dirt. I like growing flowers. I also like doing a lot of research and reading papers and finding new ways to make things work. What I don't like doing is talking politics. But what we have who's really good at that is Senator Lisa Murkowski. And as long as Pat has been around, I think the senator has also been around, proudly cheering on this industry. Peonies are close to her heart. A lot of people have that connection to peonies through their grandparents' weddings, family members. My very first introduction to a peony was in my bridal bouquet. I didn't even know what it was 16 years ago, and now I have a farm. So we would never be able to get to where we are without everybody's hands in the pot. But Lisa is always out there championing for all Alaska agriculture and peonies in general. She's currently still working on the Alaska Grown Act, and it was introduced in 2019 and then reintroduced in, I think it was like 2 months ago, July of 2021. And this would require the White House, State Department, and Department of Defense to only display American-grown flowers when they're holding events and in their venues. They only serve Alaska or American-grown food, but they still use non-American-grown flowers. So her, Dan Sullivan, and Congressman Young are still pushing that through. It's in their respective houses waiting for their vote. And every time I'm at the farmer's market, I always see Lisa Murkowski. She buys my flowers. She buys my roots. She buys my daughter's bath products. She's always shaking hands, and she'll always stop and take time to talk to you and ask, what do you need? What can I do for you? How are you doing? And it's never just a rushed conversation and we're moving on. So I wish I could actually tell her thank you in person. I did see her at the airport a couple of weeks ago and said, welcome back. Thank you for coming home. Thank you for the work that you do. Before I knew that she was, this award was on deck for her. But we have Brian to accept the award on her behalf. And let's give Lisa a giant round of applause for all the effort she puts in for Alaskans. It takes a lot to be as passionate as she is for our state as a whole. And we want to thank her for that.
So the one thing a lot of people don't know is we actually have statistics on flowers because Lisa got the national NAS, what we call the ag department, to actually track our farmers, and their national rep came to Homer to the meeting. It was kind of cool to get the national level statisticians, I can say that sooner or later, to come up here and pay attention to what we're doing. So that was directly due to Senator Murkowski's encouragement. And so having that data will help us build this industry. So, you know, and part of that whole thing is making sure the USDA understands how this little bit of niche in Alaska is important to the whole United States Department of Agriculture and what we do. So, Brian, a few words if you want.
Hi everybody, thanks so much. I know I'm not Senator Murkowski, she wishes she could be here today, but we really want to thank you on behalf of the Center for this award. The industry is so critical and you all do really amazing work. It's been great to hear from you today. And happy Alaska Agriculture Day. It's always so amazing seeing peonies this time of year, and I hope you enjoy the beautiful day at the fair. Thank you.
I'm not Senator Murkowski, if you couldn't tell, right?
I'll switch to this side. So what it says on here is Friend of Flowers, Lisa Murkowski.
That's nice.
Because we're going to, this is something we do, and of course, Alaska Agriculture Day on the back and the peony. So I hope the Senator, of course, got to have the Alaska Grill there, right? Always got to have the Alaska Grill. So thank you for coming on behalf of the Senator.
Thank you so much.
So the last award is a staff award, and it's one that I have great, distinct pleasure to give out because we struggle to get our message out. And the staff, we were talking about who's what's new. I do not want to goof this up. So this is going to be our first annual Friend of Farmers Award. And the staff unanimously gives it to Fred Bill. Come on up, Fred. So Fred is my liaison in the governor's office, and I say mine because he and I spend a lot of time talking to each other. The governor said he wanted to make agriculture a backbone of rebuilding the economy. Fred's the guy in his office, and he said, do it. And I got tagged in, I think. So depends on what day it is. Fred and I are dealing with agriculture pretty much constantly. And really, it has changed the dynamics, Fred, what we do. Having the governor's ear, having us, the cooperative agreement as we move it forward. So a few words if you would, sir. He had no idea this was coming. He just told me he had to be here.
Well, Dave, and for the staff, the Division of Ag, thank you so much for this inaugural honor. It's interesting. I'm just doing my job, but I have such a passion for agriculture. I came up in Alaska about 40 years ago. I was born and raised in South Dakota, so my first jobs were picking rocks, pulling weeds out of farms. I remember falling asleep on a cultivator. I was working as a hired hand. My dad had me as a hired hand working on a farm. All summer long, I didn't even go home. In the summertime, I remember cultivating corn on half-mile rows and looking between the blades and cultivating for 12 hours, going to sleep, cultivating in my sleep, waking up the next day, falling asleep on the tractor with the cultivator between rows of corn and stopping in time to not run over the fence and look back and see a half mile of barren ground because I had ripped up all the corn.
Oh no.
And you learn from those lessons. You learn what's important. You learn what's valuable and how to manage yourself. So when I came up here with a duffel bag and a half full duffel bag and a backpack, that's what I had 40 years ago going to Fairbanks. I've got a beautiful wife, 8 children, and what was really core to us raising our family, raising ourselves, growing up here in Alaska was how do we build our community and give our kids the values that we saw were kind of sliding away. And really, it came back to that, the grassroots, the hard work, farming, knowing where your supply, where your life comes from. And so I really appreciate the Farm Family of the Year, talking about going back to their roots, because that's what we're trying to instill in our kids, show as an example, and then raise as a state, and having the Division of Ag, the Department of Natural Resources, and the governor so supportive behind these ideals. It's just a pleasure to work with all of you and all of us, and hopefully that food security issue won't be something we're talking about. It'll be something that we're going to be living real soon. I see, and I'm so optimistic, I'm so bullish on the state of Alaska right now. 3 years ago, sorry Dave, you gave me the mic, I'm going to keep going. 3 years ago when I retired from the university, I was really concerned about what I was going to tell my kids and for their grandkids on what they were going to do here in Alaska. But since I started working on this economic development thing and working and meeting with the farmers, I am so bullish on the state of Alaska. Alaska is ready to explode in such a good way economically. I'm optimistic, and I'm really glad to be a part of this great change that's happening in agriculture. We're growing. We just don't recognize how much. So I want to thank you, Dave, and the whole staff and everyone for giving me the opportunity to serve you. Thank you.
Where's your peanut?
And he gets the inaugural. Ladies, come
Thank
on
you.
in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys facing me.
Okay. I have a sandwich. That's what it said.
He's also a judge for the chef cook-off.
Yeah, and Fred got cordoned into being a judge on the cook-off. So we hope the cooks do a really, really good job.
Me too.
So, Linda, anything else that we should talk about before we wrap up here? Really appreciate all you guys for coming. 2 o'clock, right on the other side here, the governor's going to sign Senate Bill 27. So we'll have an official entourage coming in a little bit. 2:30 on the other side of the building there is the cook-off, 2:30 to 4:30.
Milk bill.
Huh?
And the milk bill.
And then after the Senate Bill 27, where the goats are, we're going to have a little chat about House Bill 22, which was the milk bill. So there's going to be a lot of things going on here today. We've got farmers markets at the red and the yellow gates. So I saw honey, I saw other really good stuff that people can buy. So have a great day. Thanks, Rick.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stick around for the eclectic blend of country rock and blues and Daniel Cassell here at the Blue Mountain Stage at 1 o'clock.